I'd rather be in our village where no one disrespects me, she said quietly. I understand, but for now, avoid him as much as you can, Felicity replied, stroking her cheek. Alana nodded, but there was still fear in her heart. She knew she couldn't just leave the house. She had signed a contract. The next morning, Alana was already busy in the kitchen helping Felicity prepare breakfast for the couple, Raymond and Selena. Felicity cooked fried rice while Alana prepared eggs, cured pork, and luncheon meat. Afterward, they set the table with plates, utensils, and glasses. The couple arrived at the dining area just before 8 a.m., both freshly bathed. Selena wore a white silk robe, while Raymond was in a simple t-shirt and shorts. Both had frowns on their faces, clearly not in a good mood. As the couple sat down, Alana poured coffee for Selena. Soon, they started eating quietly until Raymond broke the silence a few minutes later. I thought you were going to sleep at your friend's place last night, he asked, looking at Selena. I changed my mind. I figured you might pull something again while I was gone, like that little flirting session at the airport, Selena replied coldly. Raymond chuckled slightly. Flirting? I just helped a woman zip her suitcase. That was all. You're reading too much into it. You act like a charity institution, helping every woman you see, even strangers at the airport, Selena said sarcastically. No matter how I explain myself, it's always wrong in your eyes. You don't trust me at all. Just jealousy all the time, Raymond shot back. How can I trust you after all the times you've cheated? Every woman who comes near you, you flirt with like the sleaze you are, Selena replied sharply. Not every woman I talk to, I flirt with, Selena. I'm just friendly. Unlike you, you're not friendly, so you don't get it, Raymond retorted. Don't give me that. I know you too well, Selena said, her eyes narrowing as she glared at him. As the couple's argument grew more heated, Alana stood by the table silently. She exchanged glances with Felicity, who remained quiet, seemingly used to these outbursts. It was then that Alana realized that just because people are rich and live in luxury doesn't mean they're happy. Like Raymond and Selena, despite their comfortable life, they fought daily, even in front of their meals. Since Raymond had made that disturbing advance, Alana had become extra cautious around him. Whenever he was home, she did everything she could to avoid him. She kept herself busy with chores to prevent him from assigning her any tasks directly. That arrangement was fine with Felicity since they had agreed on it. However, there were still times when Alana couldn't escape Raymond's orders. Whenever she had to approach him, she trembled inside, fearing he would violate her again. Alana had thought Raymond would be her only problem. But one afternoon, while scrubbing the floor in the living room, her cell phone rang in her pocket. She quickly took it out and furrowed her brow when she saw it was a call from Grandpa Isaac. Alana smiled and answered immediately. Hello, Grandpa Isaac, she said brightly. Alana, it's me, Mr. Abel, said the voice on the other end. Alana froze. Mr. Abel was their neighbor, someone who often chatted with her grandfather. The two were close friends. Mr. Abel, why do you have my grandfather's phone? Where is he? Alana asked, worried. I know this is shocking, Alana, but your grandfather is in the hospital. My wife and I rushed him here, Mr. Abel replied. What? Why? What happened to him? Alana's heart began pounding. She stood up from her position on the floor. Just earlier, he suddenly clutched his chest and collapsed. Luckily, my wife saw him while he was feeding the chickens. We rushed him to the hospital, Mr. Abel explained. Where is he now? Can I speak to him? Alana wanted to break down, but she held herself together. He's right here. Hold on, Mr. Abel said. A moment later, Alana heard a weak voice on the line. Alana, how are you? Grandpa Isaac asked softly. Grandpa, what happened? Why are you in the hospital? Alana was crying, trying to stay calm. It's nothing, dear. The doctor said it was just a mild stroke, but I have to be monitored for a few days. The problem is they brought me to a private hospital because the public one was full. We need to pay a substantial amount, he explained, sounding downcast. Alana bit her lip. How much do we need to pay? She asked. They said at least 15,000 pesos to get me discharged. That's just half of the bill. I wanted to transfer to a public hospital, but they wouldn't allow it. I'm sorry, dear, for adding to your problems, Grandpa Isaac said sadly. Alana shook her head and wiped away her tears. Don't say that, Grandpa. What matters is you're okay. I'll find a way to pay. Don't worry anymore, she said firmly. My grandfather was hospitalized. We don't have any savings, and he ended up in a private hospital. We need to pay half the bill to get him discharged. I don't know where else to get the money. So, I was hoping you might help me, Alana explained sincerely. Selena shook her head. I don't give salary advances anymore, Alana. I've been burned too many times. They take the money and then quit. I've had that happen with several maids before. That won't work on me, she said harshly. I won't do that, ma'am Selena. I swear, Alana pleaded. And how do I know you're telling the truth? Selena replied. Tears welled up in Alana's eyes. Ma'am, I really need your help for my grandfather. I'm not like your former maids. I won't leave after getting the money. I need this job. Now I know why you were buttering me up earlier. Because you wanted something. Well, I'm not stupid. Get back to work and stop wasting time, Selena snapped before sipping her orange juice. It felt like Alana had been punched in the stomach. She tried her best to hold back her tears. She had no choice but to walk back into the house with her head down and shoulders slumped. As she entered, she accidentally bumped into Raymond. She quickly apologized. When their eyes met, he grinned, a look that sent shivers down Alana's spine. She immediately looked away and walked straight to the kitchen, where Felicity was still sorting laundry. Felicity greeted her with a smile. So, what did Ma'am Selena say? Did she give you the advance? Alana sat down. She didn't approve it. She said I might run off after getting the money. I explained everything, but she still refused. Godmother, what am I going to do now? Where am I supposed to get the money for the hospital? She said, beginning to feel hopeless again. Felicity sighed and rubbed Alana's back. I really thought she'd help you, but don't worry. God is merciful. We'll find a way to get that money. You're not alone. I'm here. We'll figure this out. Even with a heavy heart, Alana managed to smile at her godmother's words. That whole day, Alana seemed out of it. Even as she continued her chores, her mind was occupied by just one thought: how she could get her grandfather out of the hospital as soon as possible. She didn't have anyone else to turn to besides Felicity, and she already felt guilty enough for making this her godmother's burden. That night, while Alana was fast asleep, she suddenly woke up. A strange sense of anxiety gripped her chest, though she didn't know why. On top of that, she felt the urge to use the bathroom. She quietly got out of bed and left the maid's room without waking Felicity. She headed to the bathroom near the kitchen. A few minutes later, she stepped out and was surprised to see the kitchen light on. She saw Raymond taking something from the fridge. Raymond must have sensed someone was there because he turned around. Alana froze. Her instinct told her to get back to the maid's room as quickly as possible. She decided to pretend she hadn't seen Raymond and began walking fast toward their room, but Raymond followed her. Before she could reach the door, he caught up to her and grabbed her arm tightly. Even though she was scared, Alana faced him. "Sir, please let go of me," she whispered. "I'm not going to do anything bad. I'm sorry I scared you. I know you're uncomfortable whenever I'm near." "That's why I wanted to apologize," Raymond said quietly, finally releasing her. Alana stared at him, trying to read the truth in his eyes. Raymond let out a deep sigh. "I know what I did before, asking for a massage. That was wrong. I'll admit it. I was just so tired that time and wanted to relax. I'm really sorry, Alana." Alana saw the sadness in his face, and for a moment she felt that maybe he was sincere, but she still didn't know what to say. "I overheard your conversation with Selena earlier by the pool," Raymond added. "Did I hear it right? You asked for an advance because your grandfather's in the hospital." Alana looked down and nodded. "Yes, but Ma'am Selena didn't approve it. I understand her reasons. Godmother Felicity said she'd help, and we'll find a way. I don't think Felicity can really help. I'm sure she'll just borrow money from her contacts, and that means a lot of interest." "If that happens, you'll just end up in debt," Raymond said, shaking his head. "Maybe she has other ways," Alana said. "How much do you need to get your grandfather out of the hospital?" Raymond asked directly. Alana was surprised by his sudden interest, but since he seemed sincere, she answered. "We need at least 15,000 pesos for the hospital discharge," she said. "So the total bill is 30,000. That's the full amount you'd need to settle everything," Raymond said, nodding. Alana looked at him, confused about where the conversation was headed. She could feel he wanted to say more, but couldn't quite say it yet. Raymond stayed quiet for a while, so Alana assumed he was done talking. "I'll go back to our room, sir. I need to rest. We have a lot to do tomorrow," she said politely. "Wait, Alana. Here's the deal. I'll give you the 30,000 you need," Raymond whispered. Alana's eyes widened. "You mean you'll let me borrow the money?" Raymond shook his head. "Not alone. It's a gift. You don't need to pay me back." Alana's heart raced with suspicion. "I'm sorry, sir, but I can't accept that. I'm sure you expect something in return." "No, Alana, no strings attached. This is from the heart. I want to make up for what I did. Please, let me do this." "Let me help," Raymond said, looking straight into her eyes. Alana was speechless. She didn't know whether to believe him. Part of her wanted to trust him, but another part of her warned that things couldn't be that easy. "But I can't just hand you the money. My wife might see. I'll leave the 30,000 in the drawer beside our bed. Just take it tomorrow morning after we leave. Then send it to your grandfather so you don't have to worry anymore," Raymond said, patting her shoulder before walking away to the bedroom. Alana was left standing there, torn and uncertain. She knew that if she accepted his help, her grandfather's hospital bills would be taken care of. But could she trust Raymond? Alana woke up early the next morning, weighed down by everything Raymond had said the night before. While she and her godmother were preparing breakfast for Selena and Raymond, she stole glances at the couple, trying to decide whether or not to take the money. After breakfast, the couple left for an overnight stay at a beach resort. Once they were gone, Alana and Felicity began their daily chores. They started with doing the laundry. As they were loading the clothes into the washing machine in the laundry area at the back of the house, Alana made up her mind. She knew she had no other choice. Accepting Raymond's offer was the fastest way to pay off the hospital bill and get her grandfather discharged. "Godmother, I'm going up to Ma'am and Sir's room for a bit. I just want to check if there are any clothes they left behind that need washing, Alana said. Go ahead. That's a good idea. Ma'am Selina might get mad if we forget anything. Glad you thought of that, Felicity replied. Alana nodded and headed upstairs to the second floor. She took a deep breath before opening the master bedroom door and stepping inside. She immediately spotted the drawer Raymond had mentioned. Her body felt cold as she approached it and slowly pulled it open. Inside, a white envelope caught her eye. She picked it up and opened it. She gasped when she saw several 1,000 peso bills inside. She counted them, and when she confirmed it totaled 30,000 pesos, she knew it was the money Raymond had promised. She looked around the room and then carefully slipped the envelope into the pocket of her skirt. She closed the drawer and quietly left the room. Before returning to the laundry area, Alana composed herself. When she arrived, Felicity was still sorting the white clothes from the colored ones. Oh, you're back. Did you find any more laundry in their room? Felicity asked. None, Godmother, Alana replied. Godmother, I'm just going out quickly. I need to buy sanitary pads. I'm out. Felicity looked at her and nodded. All right, but don't take too long. We still have a lot to do. Yes, Godmother, Alana said. She left the house. The sun was blazing, but she didn't mind. She walked out of the subdivision and rode a tricycle to a nearby remittance center. There, she filled out a form with her grandfather's name, address, and the amount. She took the envelope from her pocket and handed the money to the teller. Although she was nervous, she was also happy because she knew this would finally allow her grandfather to be discharged from the hospital. After the transaction, Alana took the receipt and left the center. While waiting for a tricycle ride back, she pulled out her phone and called her grandfather, who answered immediately. Hello, Grandpa. Alana, dear, you called, the old man replied happily. Grandpa, I already sent the payment to the hospital. Go ahead and settle the bill. Just give Mr. Abel the authorization letter so he can claim it, Alana said while holding back tears. Really, Alana? So I can leave the hospital? But how? Where did you get such a large amount? The old man asked. A kind person helped us. But don't worry about that now, Grandpa. What matters is you'll finally be able to come home, Alana said joyfully. Whoever that kind person is, may God bless them, Grandpa Isaac said gratefully. A tricycle arrived just then, and Alana said goodbye to her grandfather. She boarded the vehicle and smiled as she remembered Raymond's words from the night before. She began to believe that his apology was sincere, but she also told herself she would repay the money. Deep inside, she believed there was no reason for Raymond to give her such a large amount without expecting something in return. So, it was only right to pay him back. The next morning, while Alana and Felicity were cleaning the living room, Selina and Raymond returned. They quickly came out to assist the couple, carrying their luggage as they stepped out of the car. Alana and Felicity quietly brought the bags up to the master bedroom. After setting everything down, the couple entered the room. Ma'am, is there anything else you need? Felicity asked. I just want to sleep. I don't want to be disturbed. Understood, Selina said sternly. Alana and Felicity nodded slightly before leaving the room. Back in the living room, they continued with their chores. But after just a few minutes, they heard Selina's angry voice shouting from upstairs. Felicity! Alana! Come here right now, she yelled. The two exchanged glances. Felicity's face was filled with confusion and worry. What could it be? She whispered. I don't know either, Godmother. But we'd better go before she gets angrier, Alana replied. The two of them returned to the master bedroom. Inside, they were greeted by an enraged Selena. You know what I hate the most? Thieves, she screamed. Ma'am, what do you mean? Felicity asked, clearly baffled. Selena pointed to the drawer beside the bed. There was 30,000 pesos in that drawer before we left. Now it's gone. Which one of you took it? Ma'am, I didn't take your money. I've been with you a long time, and I've never stolen anything, Felicity said. Alana remained silent. She knew she had taken the money, but only because Raymond told her to. When she saw Raymond standing behind Selena with a faint grin, she realized he was enjoying what was happening. You, Alana, why aren't you speaking? Was it you? Selena asked angrily. I know one of you took the money. Maybe even both of you. If neither of you will confess, I'll just check the CCTV footage from this room. Selena pulled out her phone to review the footage. Alana felt like ice water had been poured all over her. She slowly looked toward a corner of the room and finally noticed the CCTV camera, something she hadn't seen before. Her knees started to shake. She felt like she was about to faint from fear. Selena launched the CCTV viewer app, and Alana knew she had no choice but to confess. It was me, ma'am. I took the money, Alana admitted, her voice trembling, tears streamed down her face. Selena stormed toward Alana and slapped her hard across the face, knocking her to the floor. You shameless thief! Selena shouted, shaking with fury. Felicity rushed to Alana's side and hugged her. Ma'am, I'm sure Alana had a reason for what she did. She's not a bad person, Felicity cried. She's like a daughter to me. Please, she's not a criminal. Not a criminal? What do you call a thief, then? An angel? Selena snapped. Sir Raymond told me to take the money from the drawer. He said it was his help for my grandfather's hospital bill, Alana explained between sobs. Hey, don't lie. Why would I give you money? I didn't even know your grandfather was in the hospital, Raymond said, pretending to be innocent. You're the liar. You told me to take the money, Alana shouted, now standing, though her legs were still trembling. Give me back the money right now, or I'll have you arrested, Selena threatened. I already sent the money to my grandfather, but I'll pay you back, Alana pleaded. Selena laughed bitterly. You don't have to pay me back anymore, Alana. I'll make sure you rot in jail. With that, she stormed out of the room. Felicity followed her, trying to reason with her. Alana and Raymond were left in the room. Raymond smirked at her as if satisfied with what was happening. You deserve that, Alana. That's what you get for acting so pure and refusing me, he whispered. Raymond left the room. Alana kept crying. She couldn't believe she had been set up by Raymond and trapped in a situation she didn't know how to escape from. Left alone in the master bedroom, she panicked, knowing Selena was likely calling the police to have her arrested. No, I won't let myself be jailed for something I didn't do wrong. If I have to escape, then I will, Alana whispered to herself, her fists clenched tightly. She looked around and spotted the balcony. She ran to it and saw a ladder propped against the wall. Without hesitation, she climbed down quickly but quietly, trying not to make any noise. Once on the ground, she looked around to make sure no one had seen her. Then she ran to the open gate. When she got outside the compound, she kept running. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a thief, she whispered over and over again as she ran. After running for what felt like hours, Alana reached a chaotic city street. She had nothing with her except her cell phone. Her stomach was growling from hunger, and she felt fated. The sun was beginning to set. She still didn't know where to go. She had no one else in the city besides her godmother, Felicity, and the couple, Selena and Raymond. As she walked, she stopped in front of a large music store. Through the glass wall, she saw a beautiful black grand piano in the center of the showroom. Though the store was full of musical instruments, it was the piano that drew her in. It felt like something was pulling her toward it, and she couldn't resist the urge to enter. Slowly, Alana walked closer to the piano. When she stood before it, memories of her mother's smile while teaching her a special piece came rushing back. She sat down at the piano, lifted the cover, and touched the keys. She closed her eyes and began playing the only piece she had memorized, the one her late mother had taught her. To Alana, each note felt like her mother's voice. She imagined her mother sitting beside her, smiling proudly. She didn't know why so many trials were coming her way, but she believed she had to stay strong. Like her grandfather always said, everything in life happens for a reason. Alana stopped playing when she heard applause. She opened her eyes and saw a man standing several feet away clapping and smiling. He walked toward her. "Wow, you played beautifully. Clean technique and so much heart," the man said, full of admiration. "Thank you, sir. Are you the owner of this store?" "I'm sorry for playing the piano without permission," Alana apologized. "Oh, I'm not the owner. I just happened to pass by and saw you playing," he said. "I'm Theo, an event organizer for private parties, wealthy gatherings, and sometimes weddings." He extended his hand. Alana hesitated but shook his hand. "I'm Alana." "Alana, would you like a side gig?" "It's legit, I promise," Theo said with a grin. "Here's the deal. I have an event tonight at a hotel for business owners. I had a pianist, but they backed out last minute. Would you be willing to step in? Please say yes. I'm desperate." Alana was stunned. "Sir, I'm not a professional pianist. I only know one piece by heart." "That's okay. Can you read sheet music?" Theo asked. "Yes, I can," Alana replied. "Perfect. I have prepared pieces for you to play. They're not hard. I'll take care of your outfit. There'll be a makeup artist and hairstylist for you, and you'll get free dinner." "The event will only last about 2 hours," Theo said excitedly. "That sounds nice, but how much will I get paid if I agree?" Alana asked shyly. 10,000 pesos. You get paid right after the event." "Cash," Theo said. Alana gulped. She couldn't believe she could earn 10,000 pesos in just one night. It would be enough to pay for her fare back to the province and even help start a small business. A moment later, she nodded. "All right, Sir Theo, I'll do it. I'll play at your event tonight." Theo smiled and handed her a business card. "Thank you, Alana. Here's the venue and the time. Don't be late. Just look for me at the reception desk. They all know me there." "Thank you so much," Alana said. "I should be the one thanking you. You saved me from disaster." "See you later, Alana." "Bye," Theo said as he walked out of the store. After Theo left, Alana smiled. She couldn't believe she would be using the piece her mother taught her to earn money. She felt that God was still watching over her and had made a way for her to move forward away from Selena and Raymond. That evening, Alana went to the Grand Hotel where she was scheduled to perform. When she entered the lobby, she asked the receptionist for Theo. The receptionist made a call, and a few moments later, Theo arrived and brought her to the dressing room. There, a makeup artist did her makeup, and a stylist did her hair. They dressed her in a simple but elegant white gown. When she was ready, Theo led her to the venue hall where the event was taking place. It was an awards night honoring the country's top business owners. Alana was amazed by the massive room filled with people in expensive gowns and suits. Theo brought her to a small stage at the side of the hall where a grand piano awaited. She carefully sat down and placed the sheet music in front of her. Then she began to play. One by one, she performed the prepared pieces. As the night went on, Alana noticed that more and more people were watching her. They seemed to enjoy her playing. Their attention and applause made her forget her fears and anxiety. With every piece she finished, she received claps and nods of approval from the wealthy crowd. She was on the verge of tears from happiness. She had never imagined such a warm reception for her very first performance as a pianist. Time flew by, and before she knew it, the performance was coming to an end. But Alana wanted to dedicate one last song to her mother. She leaned into the microphone beside her and spoke. "My performance is supposed to be over, but I'd like to play one more piece. It's something my mother taught me when I was a child. This will be my first time playing it in front of a large crowd, and I'd like to share it with you. I hope you enjoy it." Alana smiled as she fought back tears and began playing the piece her mother had taught her. It was slow, sad, but incredibly beautiful. As the melody flowed, tears welled in her eyes. She imagined how happy her mother would have been to witness this moment. When the song ended, Alana thanked the crowd and left the stage. The applause continued as she exited the venue hall, overwhelmed with joy. She returned to the dressing room, sat in front of the mirror, and began removing her jewelry. As she did, someone knocked on the door. It opened, and Theo entered with a man probably in his 50s wearing a black tuxedo and glasses. "Alana, this is Mr. Daniel Vagara. He's the CEO of Vagara Real Estate Agency and several other businesses. He wanted to meet you," Theo said, smiling. "Good evening, sir," Alana greeted him respectfully, though she wondered why such a wealthy man would want to speak to her. "Good evening, Alana," Daniel replied. "I'll leave you two to talk," Theo said, stepping out of the room. Daniel pulled a chair and sat across from her. As Alana looked at him, she felt strangely at ease, even though it was their first meeting. "Alana, is it true that the last piece you played was taught to you by your mother?" Daniel asked, watching her intently. "Yes, sir. She started teaching it to me when I was a little girl. Whenever we passed by a music store, she'd play it, and I eventually memorized it," Alana replied with a smile. Daniel was visibly shaken by her answer. "Was your mother's name Mira?" he asked. Alana's eyes widened. "How did you know my mother's name?" Daniel didn't answer. Instead, he bowed his head. Alana's confusion deepened as Daniel suddenly broke down in tears. He stood up and hugged her tightly. Alana was stunned, unable to comprehend what was happening. When Daniel let go, he was still crying. "Alana, I'm your father. I'm sure of it. That piece you played, it's your mother's original composition. Only she and our child would know it because I knew she would teach it to them." Alana froze. Her world felt like it stopped spinning. Her heart pounded, and she turned cold. "I've been looking for you and your mother for years. I hired private investigators, but no one could find you. When my parents kicked Mira out, I was too afraid to defy them. I did nothing. Please forgive me. If only I hadn't been a coward, we wouldn't have been separated," Daniel cried. Alana's lips trembled. She didn't even notice the tears streaming down her face. "My mother, she's gone, sir. She died 5 years ago. She got sick," Alana said between sobs. Daniel broke down even more. Alana felt his regret and sorrow deeply. As she looked at him, she still couldn't believe that in such a place, she would finally meet the father she thought she would never know. But in her heart, she felt an overwhelming sense of joy because that night she finally found the missing piece of herself. And she realized that everything that had happened in her life, good or bad, truly had a purpose. In the days that followed, everything slowly sank in for Alana. To confirm that Daniel was truly her father, they underwent a DNA test. When the results came back and confirmed that she was indeed Daniel Vagara's daughter, all doubts were laid to rest. From that moment on, everything changed for Alana. She and Grandpa Isaac moved into Daniel's mansion. She was finally able to travel abroad, not to work, but to enjoy a vacation with her grandfather and her father. Daniel made up for all the lost years by giving Alana the life she had always dreamed of. He sent her to college. Alana also found the courage to confront Selena and Raymond. She filed charges against the two of them to clear her name. She believed they had to be held accountable, especially Raymond, for what he had done to her. She didn't forget her godmother, Felicity, either. She helped Felicity start a small business in their village so she could finally go home and be with her family, something she had long desired. Many beautiful things came into Alana's life after she reunited with her real father. She learned to embrace her past as part of the strength she now carried. She realized that every bad thing that happened to her had led her to her dreams and ultimately to true happiness. The end. Thank you for watching Dark Voices. My name is Mr. Hope. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed that life-changing story. If yes, type a comment for me, and I'll be happy to read them. Thank you, Dark Voices Nation, and I'll see you in the next one.